Newcastle. It's Dr. Butchie with another edition of Dr. Butchie Reads and Steam. Today I have a story for you. It's called Pete the Cat Robo-Pete. And I have my friend Pete with me to help me read. So we'll just leave Pete right there. And this is by James Dean. What a great sunny morning. Pete can't wait to play baseball with his friends. Do you ever wait to play baseball or a game outside with your friends? Do you want to play catch? Pete asked Larry. I can't, says Larry. I'm going to the library. Do you want to play catch? Pete asked Callie. I was about to go for a bike ride, says Callie. Do you want to play catch? Pete asked John. I can't right now, says John. I have to paint the fence. Pete wishes his friends would do what he wants to do. It's no fun playing catch all by himself. If only I knew another me, Pete thinks, and like that, Pete had a great idea. What do you think Pete's idea might be? All right, let's talk a little bit about Pete, a little empathy for Pete. We understand that his friends are busy, but Pete wants to play catch. But he's asked, 4 people so far? And everyone has something to do. He's asked 3 people. He asked Larry, Callie, and John so far. But what do you think Pete's idea is going to be? He wants someone else like him who wants to play catch. Pete builds a robot. He programs it to be just like him. Welcome to the world, Robo-Pete, Pete says to the robot. You're my new best friend. We'll do everything together. And I want to play catch, says Pete. Great idea, says Robo-Pete. Pete and Robo-Pete play catch. Wow, says Pete running after the ball. You sure can throw far. Robo-Pete throws farther and farther until, time out, says Pete, as he tries to catch his breath. Let's play something else. I want to play whatever you want to play, Robo-Pete says proudly. How about we play hide and seek, says Pete. That'll be fun, says Robo-Pete. Pete finds the best hiding place ever. He's sure Robo-Pete will never find him. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shouts Robo-Pete. Ready or not, here I come. Gotcha, shouts Robo-Pete, tagging Pete. Hey, how did you find me, says Pete. With my homing device, says Robo-Pete. I can find anyone anywhere. Okay, enough hide and seek, says Pete. Let's play some guitar. Pete teaches Robo-Pete how to play a song he made up. You have to feel the music, Pete explains. Okay, says Robo-Pete. To feel it, I need to play it loud, explains Robo-Pete. Pete tries to stop Robo-Pete, but Robo-Pete can't hear him over the noise. How do you think Pete's feeling about this, Robo-Pete? Seems like he's getting a little annoyed with him. This is fun, says Robo-Pete. This is awful, says Pete the cat. Okay, says Robo-Pete, let's ride our skateboards instead. Before Pete can answer, Robo-Pete's feet transform into a motorized skateboard with super speedy wheels. Let's go, Robo-Pete shouts. Wait, calls Pete. Pete chases after Robo-Pete. He has no idea where Robo-Pete is going. Robo-Pete crashes into the sandbox at the playground. Are you okay? Pete asks his robot. I am a robot. I am indestructible, says Robo-Pete. What is this strange place? It's a playground, says Pete. He waves to his friends. This is Robo-Pete, Pete says to Callie, Larry, and John. I made it myself. Cool, says Larry. We are going to help John finish painting, says Callie. And then we are going bike riding. I want to go on the slide, interrupts Robo-Pete. Robo-Pete, I want to help my friends paint the fence, Pete tells his robot. Seems like the robot's kind of taking on a mind of his own, right? Paint the fence. That would be great, Robo-Pete says. I am programmed to paint faster than anyone. Pete and his friends try to help, but Robo-Pete paints too fast. So instead, they ride bikes, and they read books, and after Robo-Pete is done painting, they help him clean the brushes. I don't know, that was kind of helpful, Robo-Pete. Pete realizes that it doesn't matter what they do, just being with his friends, it was what makes it fun. All right, now I'm going to introduce you to some robots that we have here at Lockley. So when you come back, hopefully your teachers will bring you down to the Novel Engineering Nook, which is where I am right now, and we can play with some of these robots. We have the smallest robots, which are Ozobots. We have Evo, and we have Bit, and you can see their little tires. These are the smallest robots available. We have a bunch of those that we can play with. I have BB-9E from Star Wars. He's app enabled, so we can run him around the Nook. We have a motorized R2-D2, which is really cool. We have another BB droid from Star Wars. He has a remote control, runs on batteries. Then I have my giant friend, BB-8, who sits up on the shelf in the Nook. He's really cool. I have a smaller portable BB-8, which is actually just a Spiro droid with a BB-8 feel to him. What you're going to do, though, in your materials packet for the second one that we sent home, you're going to have something called a STEM kit. And there's going to be a little note for me that says, there's me with my little robotic hand. It says, hello, this bag is your STEM kit and includes 2 activities. Please check your teacher's Google Classroom for videos. And this one will be called Pete the Cat Robo-Pete. After you watch the video, I will explain what to do with the materials inside your kit. So for this story, Pete the Cat Robo-Pete, what you're going to need is this folded piece of paper in there. Leave all the other stuff in there. That's for another project. And you're going to design your robot. What will the purpose of your robot be? Like the purpose of Pete's robot was to have a friend to play catch with. Who would use your robot? I assume it would be you. I would build a robot just for me. What task would they be programmed to do? And you come up with 3 different ideas, details of what your robot specifically would do. And then you have 2 pages, one with some parts and one with a body. And what you're going to do is with your first materials bag, you got a glue stick and a pair of scissors. And what you're going to do is cut out the pieces that you want to use and then glue them on a separate piece of paper. And I did that, and mine looks like this. This is my fun robot that I made up. And I would want him to help me clean the house, maybe make some dinner sometimes. So I would have different uses for my robot. But this is mine. It has a nice big smile on his face. All right, so that's what my robot would be. And then, if you get a chance to, use the Flipgrid code and record a response and show me a picture of the robot that you created so Pete and I could check it out while we're still here at school. That will all be located in your teacher's Google Classroom. All right, so until next time, we have a big activity coming up with a very special 3 Little Pigs story, so look for that. See ya. Be safe.